I'm in year 4.5 of graduate school, probably out of 200 years, it feels like. I'm always researching, and I'm always reading, and I'm always writing, and I actually have, this is my first time even hearing about this hallway, and I'm kind of embarrassed about that. But that just, it shows how much, how deeply ingrained in work graduate students are. And so oftentimes I just feel like, I don't know why I'm here, I don't know why I'm doing this, I have no life, and this is a lot of graduate students will say, but then I get the opportunity to come here and to share a passion, and to just be around all of you. So I really appreciate it, and I just like to thank my family who couldn't be here. I do acknowledge the spirit that called me to do the work in Black breastfeeding that I do, and I just thank all of my participants in my research and everyone who supported me, who is an innumerable amount of people. So thank you, it really is an honor.
So next, I have the honor of introducing our keynote speaker for the night. Nikkita Oliver is a Seattle-based creative, teaching assistant, and anti-racist organizer. She's an attorney and holds a Master's of Education from the UW, where she studied racial disproportionality and disparate impacts in school exclusion. In addition to being a scholar, Nikkita is a writer in residence with Writers in the Schools, leads writing workshops with Arts Corporation, and is a teaching assistant / case manager from the Creative Justice and Arts-Based Youth Diversion Program that provides alternatives to incarceration for youth who are poor involved. Nikkita has received many honors and awards, including the 2015 Seattle Office of Civil Rights Artist Human Rights Leader Award, and the 2014 Seattle Poetry Slam Grand Slam Champion, 2014, 2015, and 2015 SPS Women of the World Poetry Slam Representative, a 3-time SPS National Team member, and a 2-time coach for the SPS National Slam team. She has opened for Cornel West and Trustee of Public Enemy, and performed on the Late Night Show with Stephen Colbert. Please give a warm applause for Nikkita Oliver.
I'm actually going to start over here if that's all right. I'm a poet, so I like to poet first. Before I say too much, I first want to acknowledge that we are here in the occupied Coast Salish territories. We are standing, sitting, learning, living on stolen Duwamish land, and that as long as the land remains stolen, justice is not fully manifested. And as Black people, acknowledging our relationship to our Native family is essential to us achieving the sort of justice that actually gets us to liberation, because that is a relationship we've been in for a very long time. And I try to make sure wherever I go, I take space to acknowledge that. We're in a small enough room. I want to ask, usually I would have some sage with me, and I found that schools don't like you to burn things in their buildings. Something about fire. So I just want you to take a minute and cleanse where you're at. Think about the energy you're carrying with you. And I want to invite you to bring with you our elders. Our elders are essential to why we still persist. We exist because they persisted. We persist, and those who come after us will continue to exist. There's something powerful about that because we come from a people who have been through some hard times. And we find ourselves in a hard time again. And what I've been reminding myself is I still exist because we are a strong people. And we have to remember that. And I just want you to think about who all those freedom fighters are. Those that we know and those we don't know. Those we recognize, those we maybe don't recognize. Those we're really comfortable with and those we're a little less comfortable with, but without them we wouldn't be where we are today. I'm going to start first by doing a poem. It's really important that I acknowledge who I am, and I have to give honor to my mama who's sitting right over here, Miss Ruth. I believe it's important that I acknowledge that I am a Black mixed woman, and that I have light skin privilege. I also have educational privilege, and all these things filter into who I am. So I'm going to do this first poem for y'all. When I tell people I'm a boxer, they almost always ask me the same three questions. 1, do you get hit? 2, does it hurt? 3, but do you ever bleed? Now, I'm sitting here thinking, duh, it's boxing. But my mama raised me right. So I say, yes, I get hit. Yes, it hurts, and sometimes I bleed. Most people are afraid of blood. Most people live in fear of seeing blood. Most people are most afraid of seeing their own blood, so I tell them, this is not the first time I've held my own blood in my hands. Watch the red droplets pool after a string of fighting words smash hard against my face. I am learning boxing and life are really not that much different. Coach keeps telling me, Nikkita, you've got to learn to keep your eyes up. The truth is, I still haven't learned how to keep my head up. So as Coach cleans me up, I stare into the carnage, settled into the folds of my flesh, the looking glass of my family tree, and I think, dang, is this all that I'm made of? See, Muhammad Ali said, because yes, all boxers must quote the champ, Muhammad Ali. Muhammad Ali said, if they can make penicillin out of moldy bread, then they sure can make something out of me. So tell me my blood, my body, what I'm made of, so I may know exactly what I could be made into. Spare me no record of wrongs, and I might not become a broken record, repeating my family's history time and time again. Let me open every closet in this house, because I'm sure there's more closets in this house for me to hide my own skeletons. Tell me about my mother's father, how he liked white sheets in the dark of night, his cross set ablaze and burned in the eyes of little girls that look no different than me, how he liked his bottle empty and his woman silent. Tell me about my mother's mother. Let me fill all of her empty and her silence, how she built herself up a broken home around my mama. Show me my mama. Little girl huddled on a tear-drenched floor beneath a roof too holy to shelter her from the downpour of belts and hands. Tell me about my father's father. Tell me a sharecropper story of backbreaking work and empty stomachs filled to the brim with Negro spirituals. Let me hear my father's mother sing our spirituals. She be like, wait in the water, just wait in the water, children. Can you hear her singing? How she raised her children up high above corn and cotton and taught them to flee before they could be plucked. How they left the fields of Louisiana for the rubber factories of Indiana. Show me the glint of promise in their eyes as their hearts beat hard against strings, flexed like rubber and melted down to once again be plowed in ox. Let me feel how cotton and plastic feel no different in your palms when your bootstraps still refuse to fit this so-called American dream. Please, show me just one dream, how black and white have always been the making of a classic movie. Let me see the stars in my parents' eyes when they found out they were going to have this sweet but sick little baby. And my mother finds herself once again in a corner, but this time on a cot in a hospital alone. And my father, so used to fleeing danger, he cannot figure out how to stay firmly put. Teach me how to stay firmly put, that I am a boxer, I am a fighter, that there is no rot or rust or mold that I cannot transform, that rot and rust and mold have become medicine. Remind me, I am my own medicine. I am my own medicine. I am my own medicine. So you with rot or rust or mold, you too are your own medicine, and I promise you, together, we are the greatest medicine we could ever create. We are fighters. We are our own greatest medicine. So I don't know about y'all, but since November 4th, I believe that was election day, was it the 8th? The 8th, thank you for correcting me. I was on my way back from Standing Rock. I've been a little stressed out. A little bit worried about the administration that we now find ourselves under, but willing to acknowledge that Trump is a symptom of something that's been going on for a really long surface. We all know it. I went to this school. I know what it's like here. I know that as the few black students in the classroom, we end up being the voice for a whole group of people, lest they not exist in that classroom. And that is challenging. But we already knew where we were at, right? So I start with that poem because I think it's important to acknowledge who we are. One of the most important phrases we can ever say is, I am coming to a similar place. Understanding that us really achieving our liberation is about a people's movement that has a nuanced analysis about the different ways in which each of us deal with oppression under one oppressive system. Our oppression may not look the same as our Latinx family. It may not look the same as our Native family. For us as Black women or Black queer women, it may not look the same as Black men. We have to be comfortable with that difference while at the same time being able to acknowledge that the person we're actually fighting, the thing we're actually fighting is an oppressive system, not each other. We sometimes spend more time fighting each other at BSU meetings than we do figuring out how we're going to get through this institution. strongly believe